Episode 210 of the TV Dudes podcast, recorded November 21st, 2018. You like a turkey?
You like a turkey?
What is that from?
I don't know what that's from. No, Mike Moody.
This is Mike Moody's fault.
Our esteemed electric sweater / permanent record
Electric
honcho.
sweat.
Oh, is this not the time?
No, not the time. our honcho posted that in our comments, and I was like, what does this mean? None of us know what it means, so we took it for the title. That's what we do.
Yeah, we think he's making a reference, but he might be brain damaged. We're not really sure.
He might have had a stroke. It's possible.
Yeah, he's making a reference, or we're making a reference to him. I don't know.
But anyway, it's Thanksgiving season.
Grant, do you remember the turkey video we made?
Oh my! Oh yeah.
People should definitely look that up on YouTube. It's just you and me making turkey noises.
We got to make more videos, Randy. We got to get back in the groove.
More quality gold content like those videos.
Something where we brainstorm for a good 10 to 20 seconds, and we just come up with something great.
Yeah, just go to the TV Dudes YouTube channel and look for the turkey video. It's worth it.
Is it?
No.
Folks, we are the TV Dudes. I'm Grant.
I'm Randy.
I'm Les.
And this week, you know, we had a bunch more shows we were gonna discuss, and it got a little whittled down by accessibility to some shows. We would like to complain a little bit about Sundance, not making Deutschland 86 as available, like even on their streaming platform.
You and I are both super excited about Deutschland 86. We love Deutschland 83.
Yeah, we have account access.
Yeah. And the only way to watch it right now is no way, apparently, because if you have account access to Sundance, you can watch episodes 7 through 10. This is not a show where you skip episodes 1 through 6.
Are we sure 1 through 6 wasn't the first season?
Not positive now that you say that.
I never checked. I went off
83 1 through 6 and 86 is 7 through. That's not confusing. That's confusing even saying it.
It could be.
It could be. If that's the case, we're dumb.
But we just started this whole thing where we're complaining about.
But it's still stupid because if we would have happily paid money for Deutschland 86. I went to Amazon, I went to iTunes. I was ready to put down the money on the season pass, and it's not there. What is wrong with them?
Oh boy. We're just going to delete all this?
No,
we're not.
It's still wrong.
We keep it real.
Yeah.
You know?
It's still wrong. And if it is 1 through 6, 7 through 10 like that, that's confusing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it is.
I don't think that is how it is.
I don't know. But folks, we are going to be talking about The Bodyguard, which is a new show over on Netflix. Seems like a British espionage show, right?
Yeah, I think it was a British original that became a Netflix original somehow.
And we're also going to be talking about The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Now, you may remember a while back there was a rumor floating around that we thought this was going to be a TV anthology series by the Coen brothers for Netflix, and we got really excited about that. Les brought it to our attention that this was
apparently
just a rumor.
not. Apparently that was just a rumor. When Annapurna, I think was the production company that originally had it, and there was a rumor somehow that it was going to be an anthology TV series. But in an interview with IndieWire, the Coen brothers just recently went off about how they don't understand television as a medium and will never work in it, and that this is always intended to be a movie.
Yeah, so we decided, you know what? It's a movie that's broken apart into segments. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like almost like a TV approach to a movie. So fuck it, we're going to talk about that as well.
And also, there's not a ton of new stuff right now. Weirdly,
it's on Netflix. We wanted to talk about it either way. I know it's not under our main purview of television discussion, but we're going to discuss it because we have thoughts. And yeah, that's it. So we're talking about a movie. And we're talking about how we messed up on being able to watch another show.
Nope,
and maybe,
we didn't. They screwed up.
Maybe the true turkey is us.
Yeah, we are the turkeys.
You like TV dudes?
You hate a turkey.
Folks, I want to say before we get into the news, you can find us over at patreon.com/tvdudes. There you can make a per episode pledge if you like the show that we're doing, and you can sponsor us. You know, we are completely 100% sponsored by our listening patrons. We appreciate all of your support.
We don't take any money from PAX.
No.
We don't take any money from the Russians.
Well, not much.
Yeah, that's true. There is that weird patron Putin who keeps wanting us to cover Friends, which is weird.
He's really in love with Friends.
Putin loves Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any.
He's a huge fan of Joey and Ross.
Now I want there to be Patreon. That's the Russian Patreon.
In Patreon, you pay the Patreon.
You'll pay us
In Russia,
to
you
not
pay us.
kill you.
I'll pay you $1 to listen to this show every episode.
We want to thank our new Patreons. I'm not sure. I may have hit on Dylan Lamb Johnson becoming a patron a few weeks ago, but I'm not sure. So double thanks if I missed that. And also wanted to say that the UGO podcast, our homies over at UGO, they upped their pledge.
Oh.
And may see that there's going to be a special dedicated request episode coming through the pipeline, courtesy of them, and their little side project, Pod Against Evil. Maybe you can guess what that show's going to be.
Terriers? Is it Terriers?
It's
About
Terriers.
You're in luck, Randy.
Man, Randy, you should pay us $20 so we can talk about terriers. Patreon.com/TV dudes. We're also proud members of the Electric Sweater Network.
Electric Sweater.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily even do the plug every week, except for that I know you guys want to do the sing jingle.
We do.
That's like the one thing that's keeping me
the only reason
gotta do this regularly.
That's why I get out of bed in the morning.
Yep.
ElectricSweater.com. We're part of a collective of podcasts that all talk about TV. Go check it out.
A collective.
A podcast or podcotery?
It's a network, I guess.
The Podcast Collective. We are a Podcast Collective.
News. It's time for the news.
Yes.
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million
As we
news
call it
stories.
in collective, Pravda.
We have fuck ton of news for you. Okay, first bit of news, guys. TV revivals. So over on CBS, it looks like Northern Exposure, that revival is actually happening.
Interesting.
It's going to have Rob Morrow returning, and I don't know, were you guys big Northern Exposure
Yeah,
fans?
I actually did like Northern Exposure.
Did you see the end of it? Did it end?
I don't know that. I mean, it did end.
you could have-
It is not still going.
You could have told me that Northern Exposure was still running. I would have believed you.
No, I did not follow it to the end, but I did enjoy quite a bit of. I've watched a fair amount.
I watched
of
a couple
Northern Exposure.
seasons. I liked it.
Yeah.
My understanding was it was all a moose's dream.
Oh.
Moose's? A moose dream?
Mies.
A Mises
I think
dream?
it's Mies.
Yeah.
Edwin Mies. That's actually how you...
I think they were also at ATX Fest this year.
Oh, were they?
I think they had a reunion. And
It was last year.
Was that last year?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't
Was it? I have no idea. It might have been this year.
I didn't
but yeah,
see them.
Janine Turner was there and Rob Morrow. And
Either way, I didn't go. It sounds like none of us went.
I don't have have a reunion. That's fine. I don't care. I liked it, but I don't need any more.
yeah,
of it.
that wasn't a show that I was desperate to go to the reunion for. It is a show that I remember as being very, very specific in tone as to why it really clicked and worked.
Yeah.
And that seems lightning in a bottle to try to recreate.
Yeah.
So I'm not super hopeful that they're going to nail that again, or that 2018 really needs that. Maybe I don't.
You know
we'll
what I
see. We'll see
notice
how this goes.
nowadays? I feel like there's so much competition in TV for my attention that if I watch a show and I'm not really interested in the plot in the first 15, 20 minutes, I don't feel inclined to keep going. I'm like,
I agree.
You
TV
guys,
has changed the game on my judgment call on TV.
Yeah, for sure.
There's so much TV.
it used to be I would give a show 4 to 6 episodes of my time.
Oh, yeah. I'll see
and
if this
now I'm
finds a groove.
I'm like, a movie has to capture my attention pretty quickly, or else I'm going to walk out of
Or
the
else
theater.
you stand up,
Then-
throw out your popcorn, and yell, "This sucks," and walk out of the
Yeah.
theater.
Right?
I want my money back.
I want my money
Well,
back.
that's what hit me with Homecoming. It's like, this is fine. This is really well done. I'm an hour and a half in, though.
No, okay.
Unacceptable in 2018 television.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Northern Exposure. What are you going to do new now that's going to really grip us in the exciting life of people living in a cold
Chris
area?
in the evenings instead of Chris in the mornings.
CTU is based in Alaska now.
Oh, okay.
Harbor Ray stuff.
A little bit more on board. A couple other...
Alec Jones in the morning,
Oh, God.
and it's all about the Harbor Ray.
Did you guys see Steve Carell on SNL by chance?
Yes.
No.
His intro, his little, what do you call it? His
monologue?
Monologue has him talking about how there's like all these people that were begging him to reboot or revive The Office. And then it features a bunch of the people from The Office in the crowd asking him, yeah, please actually reboot this. We need this.
Yeah.
And they kind of end it with him acting like he's going to announce that they're really doing it.
Yeah.
And then saying live from New York at Saturday Night Live. And it just had a lot of people discussing this reboot that they've been kind of clamoring for, or revival. I'm not really sure which way that goes.
They definitely shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't think they need to.
No.
But it would be one of the shows I'm a little bit more interested in seeing
Than
come
Northern
back.
Exposure?
More than Northern Exposure or Roseanne.
Yeah, that's true.
Zach Braff and the rest of the cast of Scrubs all took a reunion photo as well. So more
so
people
there's now
just...
renewed interest in...
Yeah, all they have to do is take a photo and then just wait for the buzz and be like, would people be interested
I
in this?
love
I
Scrubs.
feel like it's a test balloon so often.
Yeah, I love Scrubs. I really, really love Scrubs. I even like Scrubs MD, the zombie Scrubs that went on after Zach Braff left. There is no way in hell they should make more Scrubs. Most TV now has endings. You don't need to go back. We had an ending. Don't go back.
Here, that's the thing, though. Most TV now never ends. It doesn't end, Randy.
I'm
it
just
just
saying,
comes back from the grave.
Take that money and make Terrier season 2.
Make Terrier season 2, guys, just for Randy so he doesn't have that talking point.
And then I'll switch to Middleman season 2.
We have a little bit of Netflix news for you guys. Netflix is coming up with... Oh, wait. First story. Netflix almost canceled Glow because
That's
of the
crazy.
ratings being really low.
That's so crazy.
I mean,
Weird.
Ratings are like... Netflix has had to drop quite a few shows lately because the ratings aren't hitting.
I know it didn't have the... I didn't remember hearing the buzz about it that I heard about season 1, but it was exceptional. There was no drop in quality. I thought season 2 was awesome.
Yeah, I don't think like their ratings for season 1 were necessarily spectacular either, though. I think they're carrying on this show because it seems a little bit in the vein of one of those just big ensemble shows that's finding a bunch of talent, kind of like Orange is the New Black and Oz or something, but Oz did really well. That like, this is part of our brand and it makes more sense to keep this at a little bit of a loss than to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And I think in a way it still draws people in, or it gets people enough of an audience that's excited marketing the rest of
That's
Netflix.
such a good show. I mean, there's such a black box about their ratings. I mean, Netflix is so cagey about who's watching what and what any of the real ratings are. But yeah, that I really hope that they understand that they should keep this and drop.
You know what's funny
what
though?
Marvel's remaining?
All of them. Drop them all. Yeah.
You know what's funny is that my initial reaction was, that would be crazy, but also my reaction is, that's one less show to watch. Like I really like. There
so overwhelmed.
There are very few shows where if they canceled, I'd be like, "Oh man, that sucks." My second reaction wouldn't be, "Oh, but that's 10 hours of my life back."
We're not the TV dudes anymore. We're the jaded dudes.
Thank God you put a cap on it so that now I can just set I will watch all 3 seasons of blah.
Yeah.
Instead of that's just growing in the background like a bounce check I didn't pay.
Yeah, hearing that it's gonna be the final season of like Orange is the New Black or something like that, that's a huge relief to me. I'm like, yes,
we all
please
suffer
finish
from
the show.
PTVSD.
Go back and change the title.
The next story is the creator of Misfits also wrote a book recently called The One. Where'd that link go? I opened it and then I closed
And it is about a person explaining the Jet Li movie The One to an audience.
to Scott Stapp of Creed, who sang the song "The One."
Yeah. In the style, it's like a one-act play.
Yeah.
He sits on a stage and he explains this story.
One episode, 1 minute. It's gonna be really...
one episode, 1 minute. Yeah,
It's just Jet Li in old man makeup telling you the story of the. Well, Sonny, there were several of me.
No. He's talking about the movie. I was once in a movie where there were several of me. It's not so glamorous as him being
Carla
the
Gugino was there.
Yes.
John Mars is the author of The One, and this story is set in the near future. The One entertains the idea that one can find their lifelong partner solely based on their DNA. The concept quickly becomes a fad around the world, with millions of people partaking in the procedure in hopes of finding their perfect match. The book, however, focuses on 5 individuals as they gear up to meet their respective true loves, but what was supposed to be a fairy tale ending, many are hoping for, ends up in tragedy.
So this is Tinder meets Ancestry.com. Just sounds like a Black Mirror elevator pitch.
Yeah, wasn't this already a Black Mirror episode?
Was it?
There was the episode where they were doing the crazy simulations trying to find their one match.
Yeah, no, that was the
Yeah.
constantly running endless like holodeck sims.
Yeah. I don't know. Weird. Okay.
I can see it. And then
I think our pitch was better.
I guess Castlevania is doing pretty well as far as
people seem to like that.
I gather
second
that season 2 capitalized on whatever was likable in season 1.
Yeah, so like the anime adaptation of a video game has done so well that Devil May Cry is getting an anime series as well over on Netflix.
Cool. More anime for you to watch.
Yeah, I never played the Devil May Cry games,
Me
but
neither.
I'm more likely to watch the second season of Castlevania than any of Devil May Cry.
I'm probably not going to watch either because anime.
I'll watch the Pacific Rim anime that they're making.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to be the guy who did Cowboy Bebop, which is one of the few animes I like.
I don't want to watch it.
I know. But I'm going to put it on the
gonna be
schedule
that.
anyway.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to put it on the schedule.
Okay, my next category of a bunch of news is cool news stuff. And the first one is that Robert Downey Jr. is apparently producing the Hulu adaptation of Sweet Tooth, the comic.
That's really cool.
That's great. Man, it's a great year for Jeff Lemire.
Yeah.
Because isn't
Black Hammer.
Black Hammer is also
Yeah, I don't know if
being
that's
made.
on your news list too, but Black Hammer got picked up to do TV and movies as well.
No, I don't even know what Black Hammer is.
Black Hammer is Lemire's shared superhero universe that is fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of Astro City-ish. Like
Yeah.
it's all just new superhero universe.
It's super good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's Lemire's
And
world.
Sweet
We're just
Tooth
living
is
in it.
rad.
And Sweet
though.
Tooth's great.
That could be done really well if with Downey Jr. like with good people producing it and behind that, I could be excited about.
Yeah, so Sweet Tooth, how would you summarize that, Randy?
It is a post-apocalyptic world. Some kind of disease has wiped people out, and at the same time, animal-human hybrids have risen, and there's some speculation that might be related.
Yeah, and it follows this little boy Gus who's got antlers.
Yeah, he's like a reindeer hybrid or
And
something.
it's like a little orphan kid, and Robert Downey Jr.'s front loading this. I think he's probably going to somehow try to play the little kid Gus.
It's
dude
like The
playing a
Road meets
dude.
Watership Down.
There's a new trailer out called Wayne,
Yeah.
which is this show that's coming to YouTube Premium. And this is
not
from
called YouTube Red anymore. Was YouTube Red Brief? Was that
I think
it?
it's YouTube TV or YouTube Premium now. I don't know.
Pick a brand, YouTube.
It's YouTube. YouTube's TV. And this is coming from the Deadpool writers. And looking at the trailer, we all watched it just before now.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty fun, intense trailer.
It looks fun.
Yeah, this looks really fun. In the same way that Into the Fucking World was really fun, like this kind of looks like it has something between Shameless and Into the Fucking World.
Yeah, misanthropic and funny.
I don't know what town they're supposed to be. Are they in Boston? Like
It's definitely Boston.
they got a thick accent.
It's
like,
somewhere
all those
from
kids.
around there. Yeah. They're all Boston.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to go get my dad's car.
The Criterion channel is now going to be streaming a streaming service launching in.
Since Filmstruck crashed and burned.
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of popping up
That's
to
at least
take over.
half the catalog of Filmstruck, right?
Yeah, Criterion was just waiting for that, I think.
I
Because like
bet
even
they.
on Filmstruck's app, you could choose like the Filmstruck movies or the Criterion movies, which is kind of odd.
I think Criterion probably did something to him.
They probably hired a hitman.
Yeah, busted some
Nice
kneecaps.
streaming service you got here. Be a shame if
And then we got a little bit of superhero stuff. It looks like DC's Swamp Thing TV show's already started production.
Wow.
man, I really want to see what this looks like when it comes out, but this could go so poorly.
I imagine it's going to be like that Beauty and the Beast show from
man.
the 80s.
Oh, man.
Is that was Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman,
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be that level of quality, if that.
Here's the thing, guys. No matter how bad the Swamp Thing TV show is, it's still going to be at least like the third best adaptation because
It wasn't Wes Craven's movie.
there was already a movie and there was already a TV show on like USA or something. So it's still be better than both of those. It's still not the worst, so they might as well do it.
Your favorite show, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., has been renewed for a 7th season, ahead of it even starting its 6th season.
I had to message Randy that as soon as I read that news.
Les sent me that link, which means we're going to have to do 2 more goddamn
AOS
episodes.
is going to be on the air through 2020 now.
EJ,
Yes.
leave us alone.
No.
EJ, cut it out.
Why are they renewing? Why are they doing this?
Even better, the article that I read about it said, I think AV Club said that it was considered by some to be as influential a show as like Breaking Bad
Better Call Saul.
or Better Call Saul.
What the fuck?
And I was like, what do y'all? Can you? Someone explain exactly what you mean. By
I want
that.
out of this goddamn timeline. I don't know what switch got flipped, but something is wrong.
Speaking of switches getting flipped, here's another weird one. Supergirl has cast its Lex Luthor
This is
in
great.
John Cryer.
So good.
Really?
Yes.
Isn't that weird?
played
That's
Lexus-
so weird. Are they going to please shave John Cryer's
He,
head?
yes, he,
He
has a
doesn't
bald
have
head.
much hair
No,
anyway.
he doesn't. Just
has a bald
end
head.
it.
Yeah.
Like when Jack Donaghy makes Pete Hornberger go full
Yeah,
bald.
he's got-
shave John Cryer and see what madness erupts.
He's got a bald head now. It's crazy. I've seen the pictures.
Oh, Morgan Stewart's coming home. We're going to do this.
He just seems so... He's got such a toothy grin,
Yeah.
like a goofy, silly grin that I'm like, what kind of take are they going for with him?
He's played douchey before, and I bet he's going to play him douchey.
But he's so milquetoast. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
him destroy people.
Yeah. It feels almost more like Jesse Eisenberg version going on here.
You guys know the reference here, right?
No.
He played Lex Luthor's nephew in Superman 4: The Quest for Peace.
right.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'd never seen Superman 4, but that reference was made very clear to me by numerous people.
Oh, man. So, yeah, that's it. We had a bunch of news, obviously. I think we ran through it in a pretty quick time there.
Yeah.
But a lot of good stuff there. You guys ready to talk some TV?
Let's talk
Let's do
TV.
So we're going to be talking about The Bodyguard, and then we're going to dissect The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
I was kind of excited to have a movie episode, honestly, guys. Like with Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and then us, doing the throwback and watching The Bodyguard.
Yeah,
I thought it was a cool thing.
So that actually wasn't what you were supposed to watch.
What did you
There's
watch?
a show called Bodyguard on Netflix.
Man, they can't keep doing this.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Is it called just Bodyguard?
It's just called Bodyguard.
And I've been really misleading you with saying The Bodyguard.
Oh, see, it's that article that did it.
But here's the thing. We
So what
all
did you
learned.
watch? Yeah.
We all learned from the Bodyguard. What is the first rule of being a bodyguard?
I'll always love you.
No,
No.
Carry
Never-
her out of a building.
never
romantically.
fall in love. I believe was the tagline.
Yes, never.
And
fall
in
in love.
this show, the bodyguard breaks the first rule of bodyguarding.
He falls in love with
He
her?
falls in love with his charge.
Yeah, but he also kind of hates her in the first episode.
Yes, he does hate her in the first
I've
episode.
only seen the first episode, and that
Yeah.
really is out of the blue.
It's weird. It is. They do this whole thing where he's got this whole separation with his wife, and he's a sad sack. And as he gets to know her more, you see that she's also a sad sack, and they fall in love. And it was weird. And I thought they're having this inappropriate affair. And this show changes direction about 4 times, and each time it changed direction, I got less interested
I
in
am
it.
so much less interested knowing that it actually follows the similar plot line as like Bodyguard
Would you
falling in love
be-
with his charge.
Would you be more interested to know that she dies halfway through when he fucks up his job?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
Because this, honestly, what enthralled me about the episode I saw was that this looks like Transported the series, but done fantastically better.
Yeah. No, she's so this.
But I'm way less interested to watch Rob Stark fall in love with this woman.
and it's
That's who it
I
is?
forgot that's who it is.
Man,
That's
I
who it
kept
is.
looking
I
at him. I'm
assumed
like,
we were watching this because he was a Game of Thrones person, and I kept going like, that doesn't carry any cachet with me. So
No, I forgot. I
I
forgot that was
couldn't
him.
place it either. I was like, he kind of looks like Rami Malek, but
Now-
like
now that you
more
say that.
British.
yeah, it's Rob Stark.
So this is created by a man named Jed Mercurio, which is a great name, and I assume made up.
Jed
But-
Mercurio.
So this guy David Budd is an ex-military guy who stops a suicide bomber on a train, and does it with he talks her down basically.
I thought the intro was actually
I
pretty
loved it.
well
very
done.
very tense, very
Yeah.
well done.
I liked him refusing to let them
Yeah.
shoot, not just from a compassion standpoint, but from a she's insanely valuable.
Yeah, she knows things here.
Yeah.
This is dumb. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I was really impressed with that. And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he gets assigned to guard the Home Secretary, who is this basically the person in charge of intelligence in England. And she's presented as this conservative woman. So I hate her immediately.
She's a war hawk.
She's a war
He's
hawk.
got PTSD.
Yeah, she basically sent him and his buddies to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And there's this sort of chilly relationship, but it's a promotion for him, and so it's a good thing. Well, as the show goes on, there's this whole thing like he has an old buddy who's a pacifist now who's telling him that she's a dangerous person.
It's the dude from Preacher as well.
Oh, that's right. It is.
One of the tall, skinny angel dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who that is.
And I can't remember how far this was in, but at some point he tries to assassinate her.
Well, it was
you guys-
not
you
in
hadn't seen
I
that?
only saw the first episode,
Okay.
so I got a sense of kind of like, I mean, he's a bit fucked up.
He's been fucked up.
They
Yeah.
initially present him as like this good guy, father, hero
Yeah,
kind of guy
yeah.
who like knows how to take charge, and then they slowly start deconstructing
Yeah.
and like showing other sides of this guy where it's like, oh no, he's really damaged. He's got the stereotypical broken home life.
Yeah, he's a
that,
mess.
Yeah.
He and his wife are separated. She's dating somebody new. He can't handle it. He falls into this affair with this woman because she's also a mess. She comes across as this very confident, military hawk, but she is completely unsure of herself. And he like saves her from an assassination attempt, which is done by his buddy, who tells him when he confronts him, he chases him down. His buddy's like, "She's dangerous. You finish the job," and then kills himself. And he never tells them that this was his friend, so that's left out there. And then it turns into this weird conspiracy where like somebody's trying to kill her, and she might be trying to become prime minister. And the question of like who's on what side is meant to be, I think, sort of ambiguous, and we're supposed to like wonder what's going on. But mostly, I just didn't care.
Okay, so where does this go?
Okay, so I'm gonna lay it out for you how this all happens.
Spoilers for
Spoilers.
anyone who's interested in watching this. Go ahead and skip a
So,
section.
there's an assassination attempt on her.
Mm-hmm.
He stops it. His buddy kills himself. And then he's doing research to try and figure out what she's about. And then it kind of looks like basically the prime minister and one of his dudes, who's like the campaign manager for her or whatever, he was the one who gave the suicide bomb to the woman in the first place. And it was all like an inside job kind of thing. And then
That's too tightly packaged.
I'd
she
rather
gets-
watch Lumen Tower at this point.
she gets blown up when he fails to save her, and she gets blown up, and he's removed from the job, and then he starts realizing that they watch these videos, and there's a lot of law enforcement gets involved, and they realize that, oh, it wasn't a suicide bomb like they said. The bomb was placed on the stage and someone else did it. And so he's trying to track down who did it, who actually killed this woman, because it's being swept under the rug. And now he cares because this was his girlfriend essentially as well. And this all goes on. And as this goes on, about, I want to say midway, maybe the end of the third episode, he kills himself. Or at least that's what it looks like. It turns out it was a
Fakes
blank.
his death.
It was a blank. And we find out someone traded his guns for blank because crazy conspiracy bullshit. And at the end, he winds up stuffed in a suicide vest.
This is the third episode?
No, this is by the sixth episode.
Oh, okay.
But at the
This
end,
is insane.
finally, he's in a suicide vest, having to convince people that he didn't put himself in here. He didn't do the whole thing. He's been framed very effectively as the guy who masterminded all of this. And he basically has to convince them to let him defuse his own bomb so he can go on the run. And let me give you the final twist.
Okay, please.
There's
do.
more
The
twists.
final twist is that this was all orchestrated by the woman he saved in the beginning, that she was not as innocent as she pretended to be, that she's a sinister jihadi mastermind.
No!
Yes.
Who would have killed herself?
Apparently not. Apparently that was all a setup. This is very well executed utter bullshit.
Like,
What?
that's trying 6 steps too hard.
It's entertaining scene to scene, but the story is bonkers ridiculous. Like, I thought 24 was more logical than this.
What was that plot and adaptation that Nicolas Cage
Yes.
faces?
Yeah.
It's a man chasing this other man, and he realizes that he's also the same man that he's chasing.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. I'm like,
It's ridiculous. There's about a half dozen more twists than you need. A lot of fake out violence. It's well executed, but it's not good.
I recently rewatched Snake Eyes with Cage and
Oh, yeah,
Sinise, and
yeah.
this sound like
I could
Snake
definitely-
Eyes sounds dead simple.
Yeah, yeah. Snake Eyes is a good comparison, though. It's
Just
one of those
like-
things like this should work.
How
Doesn't.
stupid complicated can we make this thing?
Yeah,
it starts
It's-
off really solid.
It
though.
does. It starts off with a great tense, and that's the thing. Moment to moment, it's good throughout. Like moment to moment, the acting
It's
is
until
really
you
good.
stand back and go, no 4 of these steps can belong in the same story.
Yes, that the plot makes no goddamn sense is the problem.
It's almost like 24. Where it's
Yeah,
just
it is.
like,
It is very 24.
Sleep. You have to sleep, dude.
let's just be fucking bonkers about this.
Yeah.
Why not? I don't know.
Yeah, if you miss 24, if you don't mind something that's just completely convoluted and the story doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it's a little bit Islamophobic, yeah, that Bodyguard is your jam.
So I just want Crank the series now.
Yeah, it's 6 episodes. I watched it in a day because I was doing other stuff.
Oh, it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's only 6 episodes.
It's a little bit more digestible.
Yeah.
Well, it's like 15 episodes worth of shit.
Yeah, there's 15 episodes with a story.
In like a 6-episode sack.
Yeah,
I'm actually more intrigued since it's only 6 episodes
Yeah.
and all that crazy
All
shit
that
happens.
happens. Yeah.
I don't want to say it's bad, but it's fucking bonkers, and it doesn't make any sense.
Speaking of bonkers,
Yep.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs came
Yeah.
out, and guys, this is a Coen Brothers movie, and if you've seen their other films, you know that they do such masterful storytelling and have such great dialogue that all sorts of talent run to them to be in their next project.
Yep.
So they have their pick of the litter, and this thing is chock full of
Cast is insane.
so many high-profile actors, but. The title might be a little misleading because The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, the story of Buster Scruggs doesn't last all that long in this movie. And I hope we're going to spoil things.
Yes.
But this is a series of short story
Vignettes.
that are going on here. And they're threaded together through the Old West.
Are they
and-
threaded? They're just kind of set
No.
next to each other, all in the roughly same era, right?
Yeah, it takes place in the era. It's got
So
their
1890s-ish.
the Coen brothers' interesting kind of take on the world of the Western. For me, I found this pretty engrossing. I had to watch each little chapter kind of in installments throughout the day, so I wasn't able to just sit and go through all of it. But I enjoyed each story, building on the next as far as how I got a sense of the world that the Coens would do a Western in.
I very much got the sense watching. So I watched the first 40 minutes of it, which got me through the 3 vignettes completely.
Yep.
And I realized that this is a movie and is not a TV show, even though it is a bunch of little vignettes. There's no seam, you can't use your remote to skip to the next one or go back or anything. It's just a flowing 2-hour, 15-minute or whatever movie.
Right.
And I realized at the end of the third one, I would enjoy this a lot more if, easy, I could watch a couple episodes or one episode and walk away and come back, since they aren't interconnected and they don't share characters.
Not at all, yeah.
There's
kept
some
looking
argument whether David Krumholtz, whether his French Gambler is the old, but that's seems speculative online.
He is called the Frenchman.
But whether that's the same Frenchman,
I
or
can see
whether,
it. Saul Rubinek playing an older version of JJ.
yeah, whether
that
that's
makes
the
sense.
same.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I realized I would have enjoyed this more. I loved Easy, which is not markedly different than what this is. A series of unconnected first episodes of sitcoms or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's basically this is a series of unconnected short films, all in the same, connected by time period and genre.
I am a little weirded out why they didn't release this as 6 episodes of TV.
But because I loved the first one and I loved the second one, James Franco and Near Algonda.
Near Algodonis?
Yeah. I enjoyed that one, but then the third one, it didn't grab me, not because the performances weren't good or there wasn't some serious drama happening on screen. It just, at that point I had realized, oh, these are short and they don't really have an act structure or anything. They're just a little short story.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to commit to it. I had also just watched those 2 in a row and I couldn't stop it and walk away and come back to another episode.
Right. I feel in particular that third one might need a bit of a breather.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun with the James Franco one right before
I
because
felt
even
they
though
had
it's
just taught me how short they were going to be and how little we were going to invest, and then handed me this serious thing.
it is heavy. Yeah.
But they just told me that we aren't going to do anything later with this. Hold it for a minute.
I felt like I got enough of what that story was, and they had enough subtle hints to the history of why those 2 guys came together.
Yeah.
That he fucked his wife, he cut off his arms and legs and made him into a show puppet traveling him across the West, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, yeah, he took one lover once. And that was enough for me to get, oh, you've put him in this situation. You're kind of forcing this upon him. And he is your slave performer. And once you've gotten tired of how you've used him across the West for this, you've traded him in for a chicken and threw him into the river.
I think it dropped too dark too fast on that third one after having kind of taught me, the language of this is going to be pop in, pop out light.
It was bleak.
It gets darker as it goes because The Gal Who Got Rattled also has a dark as fuck ending.
Which one?
The Gal Who Got Rattled.
Oh, that and the very last one.
The very last one?
Haunting.
Yeah, the very last one is The Mortal Remains. Yeah.
It looked fantastic, and I planned to finish it out.
Yeah.
But the structure of it as it felt like a B-sides album.
Yeah, I get that. Here's the thing. I'm a huge Coen Brothers fan. Like, the Lebowski, Fargo.
Oh, Brother, Where Art
Where Art Thou? Raising Arizona. And they do a bunch of different stuff in a bunch of different tones. But they've also done stuff that's not great. Like, they've not always been a guaranteed hit.
Which ones are you not feeling as much?
The one I'm trying to think of.
Randy wasn't there.
No, there was the one that was like a Scoundrels one that was like
Lady Killers?
Yeah, Lady Killers.
Oh yeah,
They're
I wasn't
okay.
big into that.
They're just not great, and they're capable of greatness. And I feel like this was better than their okay ones, but not up to their greatness standards. And so I was a little disappointed in that. But it has moments of greatness, like the whole Buster Scruggs thing.
I love that
they,
one. I
they
will watch
opened
Tim
strong.
Blake Nelson do fucking anything.
Yeah, they
love that dude.
opened strong with that one because his whole invincibility and how optimistic he is,
but how nice he is about it when it goes wrong. Of like, well, hey, I can't be top all the time. Can't be on top forever.
Yeah,
it was just like
the San
it was a
Saba.
badass action. When he kicks the table
Oh
into.
my god!
Yeah, that was
I
great.
shouted out loud. Like
Yeah.
I was so impressed, and then it just. But I don't know. To 15 minutes later be in the Liam Neeson one, I was just like, and I don't feel where this is going.
Oh man, I thought that one is the one that I keep thinking back
that's one
to.
that kept you.
It just felt like it dropped in out of another movie that no one told me we were watching.
See, I don't know. I liked
But
all.
then
these...
I know we aren't going to show me the third act too.
Here's the thing.
I didn't feel like
I think that the big disconnect, I think, is that this is Netflix. I think they should have done this as a show. I understand that the Coens did what they wanted to do, and that it was never going to be a show. But it's six episodes.
Well, and-
why are there not 6 episodes of this show, and you can just watch them because they're not connected in any way?
But on IndieWire, the Coen brothers just did an interview that they
Shows they don't understand
specifically said this is never going to be a TV show. We don't like the medium of television. In movies, you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. But in television, you just have a beginning and a middle, and then someone beats it to death. And
There's no endings for most of this.
And so that's what baffled me. Like, I read that interview earlier this week, and then I watched this. It was like, so you guys don't want to make television because it doesn't have a clear three act movie structure.
They want to tell short
But you guys
stories.
had 6, whatever, how many of these there are. Like, you clearly had 6 TV episodes that you just didn't want to confine to a 30-minute length. Like, they vary.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It seems so weird of like, and y'all are just being semantically.
Yeah, it is weird. It feels more like more like 6 episodes of TV than it does a movie. But I did like if I was looking at that, I like 5 of the 6 episodes quite a bit. The one with Liam Neeson was actually my least favorite.
Man,
it didn't click with me.
I plan to watch further. I really liked the first 2. I just didn't care. It didn't click with me and was dark enough that it fucked the tone up for the 35 minutes so far. And I also realized at that point, there's no dividers in these. I'm just watching. Parts of several movies.
My other complaint would be that I think they start with their strongest one. Like, they don't ever get better than the Buster Scruggs story, I don't think.
I don't know that any of the other ones have as much quirk to them.
Yeah,
as
I think
that
that's
one.
what was missing.
But I would say like the Tom Waits one where he's the prospector mining for gold. I mean, it's slow. That one's probably the one that's the most
but I'll watch Tom
plotting.
Waits on screen.
Yeah, and it's still very captivating to me. And the whole thing is shot gorgeous.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's
Looks
beautiful.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I really, holy shit, can they make a movie? Is it still Roger Deakins with them?
Oh, I don't know.
Actually see
I'm
who
sure it was.
who their DP is on
Yeah,
this.
I'm
but
I was
sure it
just
was.
like,
it looks fantastic.
take that, The Searchers. This is like the landscapes that they find for this.
Even the
is
effect, like the CG effect when Buster
rises
and gets his wings and the harp and everything. The weird angle to him laying back and like all of it looked fantastic. And I really can't believe how well the visual gag of that table worked.
So their DP on this is actually Bruno Delbano, who was on Amelie and Inside Llewellyn Davis with them.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, just speaking of weird casting, at the last one has a trapper who's a great character.
Yeah.
Do you know who that actor is?
I recognize him.
Chelsea Ross. I could not put him together.
Ross.
He was the other pitcher in Major League.
Yeah.
And he was also in Mad Men. He was Connie.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, man, I had not put that together.
The one that puts all the weird shit on the ball. And,
Yep, that's him.
I would definitely say the weakest one for me was the James Franco bank robber one because it's short.
It was only there for a joke.
But it had a bunch of quirk to it. Pan shot.
Yeah, right.
When I love that his final words.
Stephen Root. Anything he does, I'm gonna love.
Yeah.
But when Franco looks up and do you have anything? And I can't think who the actor is that's leading the posse that found the tree and everything. But I've seen him in a ton of shit too.
Yeah.
But when James Franco looks up, that pan wearing son of a bitch wasn't much of a fair fighter or something. It's like, yeah, that's pretty great last words.
Yeah.
Didn't much fight fair.
The one in the carriage at the very end.
Yeah.
We have these 5 characters, and it seems like they're all taking their turns kind of getting to do a big monologue. You get Chelsea Ross as the trapper who seems like he's going to be like weird and awkward and shy, but then he just won't fucking shut up. And he's talking about just nonsense for like a good 8 minutes straight.
Yep.
That one's pretty awesome. The Saul Rubinek and him philosophizing on what loves means and how subjective it is to the individual. Tyne Daly.
I didn't spot that was Tyne Daly.
Yeah, Tyne Daly
she's
and
great.
her pearl clutching, Bible thumping kind of ways. But then we get the duo of the other 2 guys. One of them being
Brendan Gleeson,
and I don't really know who the other guy
O'Neill,
is,
who I don't know the name,
but he was fantastic too. Things take a very interesting turn, which I wanted to discuss with you, Randy, since you also watched this.
Yeah.
It seems like as they're traveling, the guy who's the coachman is kind of shown almost as this weird specter of death, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Are they dead?
I don't know.
Are they all dead in the stagecoach talking to each other, and these 2 hitmen are acting like we know that we're the ones who come and take the dead and bring them here, but you guys haven't realized that you're dead?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because once those guys talk about how easy it is for them to go and kill a person and distract and kill them.
Yeah.
But at first I thought, oh, they're trying to let these 3 people in the stagecoach with them know one of you guys is actually our next target.
I was waiting for that twist too. Yeah.
But that didn't happen. And instead they all seem haunted when they come to this creepy ghost town hotel, which has this horned goat demon beast thing above the door. And I'm like, is this all supposed to be this kind of you're at the gates of heaven and hell purgatory thing? Yeah, right.
I think it's a decent read. Yeah.
And none of them want to be the first to go into this Hotel California kind of thing that's going on here. But I'm like, it seems like they're dead.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I think you may be right. I do want to rewatch. This is one that I'll probably rewatch. I've rewatched all the Coen Brothers movies that I've watched.
And
so.
I like that you can now take it a little bit more piecemeal and not necessarily look for how each links together, but how it's kind of it's like a tapestry, right?
Right. Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I'm obviously the one who's rating it the highest.
I liked it fine. I would not rank it super highly, but I enjoyed it.
And I don't necessarily think of myself as big into Coen Brothers movies at all.
It just struck you.
Yeah, this one tickled my fancy. I think that I've seen a lot of other takes on Westerns, and a lot of it just usually seems dry and cliche.
Yeah.
And this felt like it had a much more unique perspective, and it knew how to make each character so distinct and quirky that I was just immediately taken by a different tone that a Western could show.
Western's easily my least favorite genre possible. I saw on film Twitter the other day somebody had asked like favorite black and white Western. I don't have one. There's no good black and white Westerns. So like
I'm kind of there with you. I'm
Yeah.
not big into Westerns.
and,
I like Westerns.
and like I love some Coen Brothers movies, but I'm not a huge. I mean, they're great. I'm not a huge Coen Brothers. Like I don't love every single one of their movies, and the first couple of these struck me as Coen Brothers-ish, but I'm going to watch the rest because I've seen all their stuff, but I don't know. It didn't.
I'm
it
excited
didn't
to hear what you think of
I'm excited
the
to see
last
the rest
three.
of them.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed the first two. It just kept going downhill for me.
Yeah. I think you'll like the last three. I do think that the midsection was kind of a weird.
I also,
change.
going into it, having read that interview where they're like, "Oh, TV baffles and confuses us. It's
Yeah.
kind of a
It's
shit medium." And then I'm watching like, you guys just kind of made a shit TV show.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. Listener question time. If you guys go to facebook.com/TV Dudes, you should like our page. You should have already liked our page.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Go do that.
Yeah.
And then also subscribe to our page. Make sure that you get the notifications because we really don't post that much on there.
No.
We post our new episodes. We post the interviews that Les does, which are awesome. You guys should always check those out. And then we post asking for questions.
And then, of course, my weekly rants about fluoride and the water supply.
You do hate that. And how
This is
jet
why-
fuel
this is why
can't melt
Ray-
steel beams.
And jet fuel can't
That's
melt.
why Randy only drinks pure rainwater.
That's exactly right. Which actually, pure rainwater is just the name of my energy drink, which I'm going to be selling on the Patreon episode.
You should be president.
That's a mean thing to say to someone. By the way,
Nowadays, yeah.
the questions are dessert. The questions are dessert, right?
Yeah, they are.
So this is our Thanksgiving episode. So this is the pumpkin pie of this episode.
This is just a can of cranberry sauce, guys.
with the can ridges still in the sides
Just
of the.
beautiful. Our first one comes from this guy, Mike Moody. He says, "You hate the turkey?" Moving on.
Yep.
Marvin
Name of
A.
next week's episode.
Marvin Lanier, who says, I have been fairly disappointed with The Good Place this season until these past few episodes, especially last week's, which seemed to force the show back on track. Are there any other shows that have made you dudes reverse positive or negative based on one or two episodes? And Randy, you weren't here to talk about The Good Place
No, I was
last
not.
week. So what are your thoughts on this season as it relates to the series as a whole so far?
So here's the funny thing. I actually really still like The Good Place, but in retrospect, yeah, it is not as strong as it has been.
Yeah, I think we were kind of dancing around that. I think I was probably coming down on it the hardest last
Yeah.
week.
I agree with you that them being on Earth. I agree with you, Grant, that them being on Earth changed the dynamic and slowed the pace of the show as far as its just madcap craziness.
Right.
And it's the closest. I still wouldn't say that it ever like slowed down or ground to a halt or anything, but it's the closest it came to ever behaving like any other sitcom.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's the closest The Good Place. Them being on Earth is the closest The Good Place has come yet to seeming like another show I might have seen somewhere, as opposed to like, what the hell is this?
Losing the crazy madcap magic was definitely a dangerous thing, and I'm glad that they're going to get
them breaking the like. Michael accidentally revealing the afterlife to them, and then like, oh, sorry, no, you guys actually can't play in the game anymore now.
Yeah,
like that re-broke it enough to. Yeah. I think that was the Jeremy Bearimy episode.
The Jeremy Bearimy episode,
and that was the moment where I was like, and we're back. Like,
and then we got to see Tahani's sister and that episode, and Eleanor's mom, and that was a really good
them
episode.
Giving Eleanor the memories.
Yeah.
And
see, I was a little bit down on those as well.
Really, I like those.
Like,
yeah, I like those.
Like. We know our characters, but like it almost feels, man, I don't want to compare it to Lost, but like they're doing these like flashbacks of like oh, now let's understand your past pain because we need a little bit more of character growth from you guys, and we need you to overcome this. And I guess if I felt like they were playing that aspect with a little bit more sincerity, I would be okay with it. But it seems like they kind of lightly brush upon this past pain, which made them into kind of cruddy people.
Right.
But it's a comedy, so they are just going to lean more heavily on let's go for the joke. And I'm like, guys, you're obviously defying the rules of what you can be. If you're going to do that, lean a little more heavily on the sentimental stuff.
I still really like the show. It reminds me of sort of where Brooklyn Nine-Nine was for a little while for me, where it's like I was not like always dying to watch it the way I had been at the beginning, but I always enjoyed it when I watched it. That's still where I am with Good Place.
Yeah.
I'm still hooked. This is still one that I watch almost as soon as it drops.
I do too. I watch it pretty soon. This is the last one was the only one I haven't watched.
I'm
pretty
surprised
much
that I actually missed not getting the 2 episodes together. when for the longest time all that did was terrify me week to week of like
Right.
there's no faith in it, they're going to burn it off.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So what about this other part of this question? Are there other shows that we can think of where we've gone kind of negative back and forth? I mean, aside from Sons of Anarchy, obviously for me.
Where was Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Early on, we loved and then hated that show.
Yeah. And I would say similarly Shield.
Yeah.
Where we kept trying to find the positives and be like, oh, this was a good let's keep discussing.
Here's a question. Yeah. Have we ever had a love it or hate it show that we wind up loving? Because I feel like if there's a love it or hate it, we always wind up hating it. Like Walking Dead, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., those went out the window. Like there's never been a show where like, oh, I love it some weeks, I hate it some weeks. Oh, but ultimately turned out to be a pretty great show.
I'm rewatching The Office right now,
Yeah.
and I recall quite distinctly there's a point that this show's going to hit in one of its later seasons where it drops so much in quality that I lose interest in watching it. But I'm right now at the end of the 5th season, about to enter the 6th season, and I'm still so in love with all these characters.
Well, Michael's still there, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I'm just like even more invested in the narratives of all the other characters now because like I've seen this before.
It wasn't until they lost Steve Carell the show went off the rails.
Yeah.
And even then it had its moments, but it had clearly gone off the rails at that point.
I find often on the longer run shows, like Alias running 5 seasons, recently rewatching pieces of The Good Wife to talk about that last week. That was a 7-season show with Good Fight. So there's going to be some change in tone across a show that long. From like season 5 is not going to seem like the same tone necessarily as season 1, but sometimes in shows that's fine. Like watching week to week, I roll with it. But I find when I go back and binge watch, sometimes I quickly notice like, oh, we're in season 4.
Yeah.
Wow, what's wrong with season 4? I don't give a shit about. Where it's like yesterday I was wanting to watch 8 of these in a row, and then like now.
Yeah, I mean, I think about the sophomore slump that affected both Friday Night Lights and Lost to a degree.
Yeah,
that like made a lot of people kind of drop off of it. And Randy, you say in particular, you can't handle that Friday Night Lights second season.
Oh man, it's rough.
But obviously, that one is one that I think overall ends pretty positively.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, season 2, there is a weird season 2 slump. The sophomore slump is definitely a thing. And yeah, Friday Night Lights, man, I remember being so excited to have that back and watching that first episode and being like, what the fuck just happened?
Are they running away from a tornado in live action? What does this show become?
And then I remember that first episode, I was so disappointed. And I remember the second episode going back in thinking, okay, maybe they'll course correct. And
Landry's a murderer.
And it just got worse and worse. And I got so heartbroken I stopped watching the show.
Angel is one of the rare shows I can think of that did the opposite, where I did not like the first season of Angel and was like, oh, Buffy's the much better show. And then they got rid of the Irish guy that was helping him, and Cordelia stepped in more. And by the second season of Angel, it was eclipsing Buffy for me in quality, and it finished out being a show I actually like more than a lot of seasons. Somewhere around the initiation or the initiative season of Buffy, it started to shit the bed for me.
Yeah, it flipped. Yeah, you're right.
Next question is from Jonathan Huffnagel, who says, Dear TV Dudes, the Ocean 11 remake really plays on a heist done well. Of course, some of the best heist scenes came from Westerns. What are some of your favorite movies or TV shows that have applied one of the classic Western formats into setting other than a Western? And what other kinds of genres may work very well if adapted to a Western?
Well, we talked a little bit of this off mic trying to come up with answers, and I think we all said Justified basically is a modern Western.
It is.
I mean,
down to the hat.
That's the best. We were talking about some of the Western formats, Western tropes. The one good man in a bad town,
Firefly.
The
Magnificent Seven
Magnificent
kind of
Seven.
setup,
Yeah. The outlaws that get hired to save a town, and I don't know that I've seen them applied.
I feel like
particularly.
Into the Badlands was basically a Western set in a weird post-apocalypse.
Yeah, I can see that.
But again, this gets to what we were talking about off mic, the blend between samurais and westerns
It's
with
pretty
Kurosawa
similar.
and everything Sergio Leone did.
Yeah.
So many of those are the same, and then they translate fine into almost any gangster thing too, with like Last Man Standing.
Yeah. I don't know. There's that Community episode.
Like, I feel like
it really does a really great job.
I feel like you could easily take Sopranos and just move it to the West, and basically have like Swearingen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Like almost any
Just
gangster
Deadwood.
thing. Yeah, almost any gangster thing I think would translate fine.
Yeah. Has anyone done a comedy Western show? I mean, obviously there's Blazing Saddles. There's 10 Million Ways to Die in the West or
F-Troop
whatever.
count?
No, does not.
Was Gunsmoke or Bonanza a comedy? I
Not
never watched
intentionally,
either
no.
one. Okay.
And then there was the Briscoe County Jr., which isn't really comedy. It's got comedic elements to it.
And it also, I mean, technically is a Western, but they were loose in time. Like he fought robots and ninjas and shit. Right?
Oh, Walker, Texas Ranger.
Friends in the Old West. How about that? It's just a bunch of you got the saloon girl. You got the gambler. You
What
got
was
the
the-
gunfighter.
Lukenbach.
What was the show that we talked about where cocaine wine came from? Another period.
Oh,
Another period. Yeah, yeah.
Period. Yeah. Oh, fuck. By the way, we need to drink that cocaine wine because I accidentally opened it at a
Oh,
party.
shit.
Accidentally opened it.
well, the
you
other-
wanted to know if there was cocaine in there. What didn't you?
I can't stop drinking it. I need your help drinking it. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, and let's go to the next question here. This one comes from Justin Zarian, who says, with Netflix's recent releases of Buster Scruggs, Roma, Private Life, Cam, and other quality movies, do you think they're finally breaking the curse of having original movies not being as good as their shows?
They're not breaking their curse of Randy watching their movies.
And they're not all original. I think Cam is a pickup from Fantastic Fest.
Is it?
I heard Roma's really good, but I haven't seen it yet.
I do feel, I hope at least, that they're getting better at selecting their movies to distribute.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely clear on the difference between a Netflix production and one that they acquire.
Was Night Comes for Us? It was
acquired.
It was acquired. Like that was a good call. That's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The
Apostle, I think they threw the money down for.
Okay. Yeah.
And Hold the Dark, they threw the money down for.
My problem with them is that they don't market their stuff.
There's too much
Yeah.
stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
let me know that you have released these aside from me checking on Netflix every so often because, like, if I wait a week, it's already lost in the
And
shuffle of
depending
other
on the
things.
Netflix algorithm, it won't show me. There's times where things I've known about that I am excited about, I have to go type half the name in to get Netflix to show it to me because there's just too much shit. Telling somebody yesterday about watching Bodyguard, and they just looked at me and were like, oh my God, how much of that show's out? I'm like, I think all of it's available if you want it. They were like, there's too many shows. Like, if you don't hit something, if you aren't dead on excited about it when it drops and you wait a few weeks, there's another crop of shit.
Netflix, can you have a fucking calendar of releases that, like, on your actual site where, like, this just released on this date, this one actually released after that
I
one?
shouldn't have to
That
go
would
to
be
like a
helpful for
Vulture
me.
article or something that tells me the release dates and what's coming and going.
Yeah, it's very
Why won't
frustrating.
Netflix just tell me? I want to.
Netflix needs a butler service where the butler comes to your door and tells you what Netflix there is that week, and then makes you watch it.
I mean, they are just banking
like a very aggressive TiVo.
on
Yes.
awesome TV podcasts, letting them know what to watch.
Yeah,
Which, you know, put us out of business, make it a little bit easier for us.
that's right. A lot of and a lot of those podcasts really fall down on the job. They're terrible at it.
Yeah, they name their shows something like "You Like a Turkey" or something. Alec Miracle says, "Dudes, not a question, but more of a statement. I have until New Year's Day to finish all of the following, which I'll be sadly binging. Don't be so sad. Seasons 3 through 5 of BoJack Horseman, all of Haunting of Hill House, the last 30 episodes of Doctor Who Series 1, the rest of Sons of Anarchy Season 3, skip that. The rest of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., skip that.
Skip that.
Agent Season 2, by the way. The rest of Black Mirror, The Good Place Season 2, watch that. Put that at the top of the queue. Final season of House of Cards,
Don't
skip
bother.
that. The rest of Daredevil Season
Skip
3,
that.
Don't bother.
I thought it was pretty good. Narcos Season 4, and the
Whatever.
rest of Person of Interest Season 2.
Watch that.
Yeah?
But aren't there like 5 more seasons of Person
And
of
they're
Interest?
22 episode
Yeah, why?
seasons.
I want to know. There's so many questions I have for you, Alec. Why the New Year's Day deadline? Why the weird mix of shows that have been around for years and some that are newish?
Self-imposed.
I don't understand.
He's got it. No, all you have to do is say, you got it, Alec. You can do this.
You can do this. We have faith in you.
Yeah, you can do it.
Also, props for watching through your person of interest and not just picking out the 10 episodes per season. Because it's a 22-episode network show.
Does someone map it out, only watch these? That'd be so convenient.
There are some heavier mythology episodes, but you're still going to miss. It's threaded through pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, I never finished Person of Interest because of that 22-episode thing. One of these days,
it's crazy long.
But that's people that went on.
God,
half those people went on to Westworld, so maybe I should check it out.
My teenager burned through the whole thing because my teenager watches TV at a rate that is impressive.
Well,
1.25.
Yeah,
That's
the rate.
The only TV I managed to watch this week was a movie. Last question comes to us from Jonathan Habtmichael, who says, "Hi, dudes. Since this Thursday and Friday are America's holidays, respectively celebrating family togetherness and capitalistic chaos."
Which one is which?
Yeah, right. What two shows would you binge back to back to commemorate Thanksgiving and Black Friday?
So for Thanksgiving, Top Chef. Every season.
Really good, actually.
Every season.
I was thinking, what's a good Thanksgiving one?
And for Black Friday, I'm trying to think of a good, what's a good commercial a show that's Superstore, if that was a show any of us watched, would be a good fit. But it's not a show anybody watches.
I was thinking Superstore initially.
Yeah. There's got to be a shopping show beyond that, right? A show about the excesses of Oh, Mad Men. Mad Men's all about the excesses of capitalism.
I was going to say Breaking Bad. That's about making some money.
No, that's Small Business Saturday.
Small Business Saturday. See, Small Business Saturday is Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
yes.
Heisenberg is nothing but a small businessman made good.
Yeah. I would say you want to watch Hannibal on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Just binge through all of that, you psychos. And man, I don't know if I can come up with something much better than
Black Mirror on Black Friday.
Black Mirror on Black Friday,
or at least maybe some Halt and Catch Fire.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not coming up with something. I mean, my choice is going to be Superstore.
What about that shitty HBO show Succession?
Succession, yeah, or Ballers, or
Ballers. Oh man,
no, Billions. Watch Billions.
Billions is a perfect Black Friday show.
There you go. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I don't have a better Black Friday show to add than those.
We're going to go ahead and wrap things up there, folks. Next week, I believe we're going to be talking about Little Drummer Girl. Might check out something else over on Netflix. Maybe we'll figure out what's going on with Sundance and try and talk about
some kind of spy show, maybe a quirky Western.
Yeah, or maybe not.
We'll see. We want to thank all of you guys for checking us out this week, and thank you for spreading the word on our show. Thank you so much to our patrons. You guys really help us out, and we will be talking about something silly on Patreon, so please be sure to go ahead and sign up and check out our bonus exclusive content.
It's just going to be 25 minutes of Grant, Les, and I doing turkey impressions.
Ready. I am ready. My snood is ready.
Gentlemen, prepare your waddles.
TV Dudes out. The TV Dudes is an independently run podcast and a member of the Electric Sweater Podcast Network. We are exclusively listener supported. If you'd like to help us out, go to patreon.com/tvdudes. You can like us on Facebook and Twitter at TV Dudes. All the music for our show is by our friend and original TV dude, Gregory J. Amani Smith. To find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com and electricsweater.com. I'm Grant Davis. Thanks for listening.